Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. On the line with us right now from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits and thehumidor.com. It's our good friend, Chris Gwaltney. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
Cool.
I like your shirt.
Yeah. We'll describe it. It's it looks like a traditional baseball
Like a Mets.
jersey or shirt, and it says Nicaragua on it, which is really nice.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
In Nicaragua.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny.
That's what I was waiting for.
Take
Yeah.
a
Good
big
question.
guess, right?
Well,
Actually,
you could have
the
said
funny thing is,
Marshalls.
there's all kinds of places, but at the airport, there's a kiosk, and every time I fly out of there, I buy. They usually have a different color, so they get me. I've got like 9 different colors of these jerseys, so they see me coming, they're like, "Hey, quick, get the other color. The green goes here."
Yeah, that's cool though. It's like when I look at that, like, because Tom and I were talking a little bit, or Sam and I too, a little bit before we got you on the line, and we were talking about baseball and what's happening with baseball, and I'm sure Nicaragua has its love for baseball, and you have your love for baseball, and what are we gonna do?
yeah. And is there anything before we talk baseball, Chris? Any of the cigar info we want to get out there? Of course, if you're going to go to thehumidor.com, use promo code Tom and Dan, and you'll get discount, and that way we know that you're using them, and they know as well.
Oh, yeah.
So anything on that front, Chris?
Man, I tell you, business is crazy. We've been, everybody calls it the COVID bump. For our industry, for us in grocery, it's been crazy because people have just been, stockpiling and loading up, and it's crazy because as the bars have closed and more places are starting to open back up again, we haven't seen it tail off. So business has been really good, and so it's difficult. We've had a tough time keeping. As you know, we talked about the cigar industry closing down factories.
Sure.
They're back up and running, but I talked to one manufacturer yesterday, and he said in his factory they're socially distancing, so it's like a pair of rollers, empty chair, pair of rollers. So even in the factories in Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic and Honduras, they're socially distancing while they're rolling the cigar. So
Yeah.
But
To people that might be concerned about that, it's probably good information to have, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I also feel like in 2020, there's a lot of information and misinformation, everything, and then a lot of people are like going back and looking at the past and being like, well, this particular pandemic played out like this, and it's like, well, you can go back and look at the past, but man, we live in an information age where everybody has access to immediate global information for the most part. And it seems like everywhere you go, people are aware of the danger and what to do and what the best, practices are. So it seems to me like the world will be able to handle this better because everybody is more informed. I mean, you go back, this if this was 50 years ago, maybe the cigar rollers in these factories wouldn't even have available information to know about social distancing and
that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So like people would just go along about their business, and maybe
he might eventually get there, but not at the rate that we get it now. Not the way that it's delivered now.
Oh yeah. Dude, I mean, you think about it. 50 years ago, there were three network television channels, and if Walter Cronkite didn't say it, it wasn't true.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, there was it was just the way the information was disseminated. I don't know. The most frustrating part about the whole COVID thing, forget the business aspect of it, is all of the experts. There's so much information and so much disagreement in it, and even the same experts that have a particular model, then they come back a few weeks later and say, I was wrong, let's go by this one. So it's like no one really knows. I guess that's why they call it practicing medicine, because they don't really know it yet, you're practicing it. But it is kind of frustrating because you're depending on all these trusted sources to tell you what to do, and then even they can't really figure it out. It's not a knock on them. It's a fluid situation. It changes. It's a new virus. So you really don't know. I mean, 50 years from now, we may look back and say, hey, if we would have done nothing, then we would have been fine, or the lockdown was what we needed to do. You just don't know. I mean, there's arguments. People say that the lockdown just caused us to kick the can down the road because whenever we bring everybody, those people haven't been exposed. So whenever you lift the lockdown, there's going to be a spike, whether it's 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, whatever. And then there's other people that say we shouldn't do anything at all, or so you just don't know. So
yeah.
I think we kind of did what we had to do, and I think everybody did the smart thing. And I'm pretty happy with our company. I mean, they've been really on top of it, and we've kind of gone overboard with preparing for it. But I think that's what you have to do. You'd much rather be safe than sorry, I guess.
Oh, sure.
Of course. And regardless of all the details of it, what I'm thinking about is at least the message is out and and it's out worldwide. So at the very least, people are like, well, I'm going to wash my hands more and I'm going to try not to, get into situations. Every human knows of what situation they're more apt to get sick from is like crowded places. It's like, we make the joke back before all this. Every event we had, me and Daniel would get sick from a cold or something because we would be in an event and shake 100 people's hands and touch my face
you're
and
hugging, you're drinking,
and
you're face-to-face close.
And it was just one of those things that was in the past, it was like, oh, yeah, this is what's going to happen. You do an event, you get sick after, it's fine. And then now we're more cognizant. We're like, well, can't do that now. And so it's like at least the bare minimum, the message is out, and hopefully that helps. But let's get to
if you think about it, I mean, you guys and going back to terrestrial radio days and even now, you're in the radio business, so you pretty much spend most of your life in a sound controlled room, close knit with the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
So when you would get out in public with these, and you would either be with the same people all the time, or you'd go do an event with thousands of people. So you were a prime candidate to get sick, because if you have a weakened immune system. I think that's why we see a lot of people that are like working in the public aren't getting as sick as people who like work in offices and controlled environments, just because I think, if you're interacting with people all the time, you're building up all these natural immunities and things too.
Yeah.
So you have a much better immune system because you're out in the elements all the time,
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of all this and baseball, I follow sports a lot, and baseball's received some heavy criticism about their handling.
Hold on. Let me check here. Baseball is a sport. All right, keep going.
Yeah. And Chris, I know you're a baseball fan. What's your take on MLB and how they're handling all this?
They have absolutely. Baseball has missed a golden opportunity to help grow its game and to introduce it to the next generation of fans. Literally everybody else in the world has stopped playing sports. And baseball is the one sport that is catered to being played. It's naturally socially distancing. Look at a playing field. If you have no fans and you have these stadiums, they're naturally airy. We've proven that outdoors is good for avoiding the virus, and being indoors in confined spaces is not. They naturally have the perfect sport. It's a non-contact sport where you're not really running into each other, except on very
rare occasions,
small, similar occasions. I mean, the guy gets on base. That's the closest you're going to get to another guy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So really, other than that, I mean, it is the perfect sport. Baseball could have been the only sport on TV. And, I mean, I'm getting people now who are talking to me about NASCAR who wouldn't know a carburetor from fuel injection and have never watched auto racing, but they are absolutely watching it. And you know how there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get pulled into the auto racing because it's the only thing on. And baseball totally missed the mark, man. They totally, and and they're arguing over. It's like saying, they're arguing over dimes and leaving millions on the table.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And because I'm ready to watch.
Yeah, and
I'm not a baseball fan, but I'd watch it.
And I've heard that it's just the players' union and the owners they refuse to budge, and
it's bad.
And they refuse to. Either side refuses to. I
was reading about it last
give
night.
anything.
Yeah, there's no give there.
And then what's happened is I know that it looks like they may settle on a 60-game season, and but you're right, they missed a great opportunity to be the only sport playing right now, and with a sport that has, let's be honest, in America has been on the downslide for the past couple decades, and everybody known that. And there's been the argument even, years prior as baseball,
can it survive?
Can it get new fans interested? Is it just all the old school people that are interested? And you're right, they missed an opportunity and they were short-sighted, arguing over millions here and millions there when this could be a detriment to the entire sport moving forward in the next decade,
Yeah, I mean, you're basically, what you're doing is the sport is going downhill. You have an opportunity. I don't care, either side or both sides need to concede some ground here to grow the sport, and eventually everybody will succeed. But if you both just continue to play the hard line here, and eventually there won't be a sport, and there'll be no revenue to share.
Right.
There'll be no money. So I mean, it's like, there gets a point in time to where you have to compromise. You got to look. We're literally cutting off our nose to spite our face here, and you just can't do it. I mean, it's they've already missed the boat on that. It's not too late because I can promise you that I know international soccer start back up again. I don't know if I watched the Coppa Italia game yesterday, and the simulated fans in the stadium is the worst idea in the history of sports.
Yeah.
No, it was distracting.
I laughed at it. Chris, I laughed at it. I caught a split second of it, and I started laughing. Then, of course, I had to watch Arsenal get whooped up pretty bad. That was not good for me. I didn't have a good sport day yesterday, but I would have loved to have watched some baseball after watching my team get decimated by Manchester City.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. It's just distracting. At one point, it's just like, all right, this is the reality. Let's do it with no fans.
Don't insult me by putting the cartoons in there. I know what it is.
And maybe
just put tarps with advertisements across the thing and make more money.
Yeah.
Well, that Korean team had it right when they put the sex dolls in the crowd. I'll watch that. That's funny. Or make it funny. Make it. You could put mannequins out there and, like you said, sell the T-shirt rights and then bank that money for people that are hurting of COVID.
Or if you're thinking, okay, the silence is distracting, let's just pump,
I like it.
Let's pump in.
I like it with everything now.
Yeah, but you could also just pump in the audio sound of like a low crowd sound from previous games.
Why not? Why not just let them talk the way that they normally talk? Put a disclaimer. Let them talk like men and women when they play these sports.
Perfect thing to do. Just like a hockey game. If you're at a hockey game and they crank out AC/DC right before they drop the puck and they stop, now you just don't stop. You just keep playing it.
Yeah. I love it with music. Yeah. So you partner with like a Spotify or Apple Music. You get licensed music there and you start pumping it. Yeah, I'd watch that. Yeah. It's better than nothing.
Right. And you could change the music based on where you're broadcast. Like if you're whatever stream you're doing. So for the U.S., you could have different music for different streams or whatever, so people listen to different music. I mean,
that's actually not a bad idea. So I'm going to tune into the baseball game. Chris has his company. I'm really into,
you pick your own soundtrack.
I really like traditional Indian sitar music, and he's got this channel that's your Bollywood favorites, and I jump over there. I go to my Bollywood's favorites, and it's mixed underneath the actual audio of the person playing. Not a bad idea, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You can do 90s pop, rock. Yeah.
We could all, agree that there's a lot that they could do.
But people don't want to solve it; they just want to argue.
Yeah. Well, Chris, unfortunately we didn't have as much time today, but
that's cool.
But at least he doesn't have to sit there while we ask him, like, "What movies are you watching?" And he's like, "Oh God, really, guys?"
And again, if you are a cigar smoker, we urge you to go to humidor.com.
My neighbor's that guy. Every single night in quarantine, he sits on his balcony and smokes a cigar.
Yeah, thehumidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan when you're making your purchase
for some money off,
and you'll receive your cigars and a nice little packaged, humidor bag, and they do a great job.
Yeah, they do an excellent job. Chris, thanks as always for the time, man. We look forward to seeing you
guys.
again. All right, man.
Yeah,
take care.
Take it easy, dude.
That's our buddy. Chris Gwaltney from thehumidor.com or ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow.
I know that you've been wanting to talk to somebody that has done what our next guest has done. Pretty interesting deal.
Right,
And our
wow.
next guest, his name is Dustin, and I believe that he lived for some time in a Japanese love motel. And if you don't know what a Japanese love motel is,
I don't
or
know.
hotel, I'll help you out. It is a type of short-stay hotel or motel found around the world, operated primarily for the purpose of allowing guests privacy through sexual activities. There you go. You want to talk to Dustin?
Yeah. And this is a friend of a BDM
Yeah.
that he sent us an email. It was like, hey, my buddy stayed in a Japanese love motel. We're like, all
Right,
right, I'm
well,
going to talk
book
to
him.
him.
Book
I don't know
him.
what that means. Dustin, are you there?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for calling in. So,
Do they blur out the bushes in real life?
that's what,
Oh, yeah.
When you're actually looking at one, is it blurred?
yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, yeah. I've been married the whole time I was over there, so I never got to see a pixelated puss in real life, but I imagine they all were like that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So let's go back a little bit, Dustin. So, how did you live in Japan? Were you there traveling?
Yeah. So I was stationed there actually. I was stationed at Yokota Air Force Base, and it's right outside the greater Tokyo area, basically. And right outside the gate, I mean, anywhere you were pretty much on the base, you could look across the airfield and you could see this. It kind of looked like that record building that's in L.A. You know, it's kind of looked like stacked records. There were a bunch of different colors. It was flashy, and you always want to know what it was. And for a year or so, we didn't even know exactly what it was. And when we found out, it was on our bucket list. So, yeah, we went. It's very, very secure, very secluded. You pull into a little parking spot in the garage, and a curtain drops over your license plate, so you can't see, you know, who's even there at the time. And you walk into the front desk, and there's nobody there. There was a bell. We rang it, whatever. We, don't speak a lot of Japanese. No one came. But what there are these, like, pillars with video screens throughout the lobby, and there's little videos that play the theme. It might be a jungle theme. It might be a space theme, cowboy, whatever.
Hold on. Okay,
this.
go.
I like this.
You're ripping through it, Dustin.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
hold
So-
on one second. So you walk in, and there's no. Does it look like the Apple Store? Like you're looking around, and it's like just like is it very modern?
Yeah, it was modern. It was all like dark marble. It was a little dark, It wanted to give people a sense of like they could hide there or whatever. Because a lot of people in Japan, they live with their aunts and uncles, grandfathers, kids. And if they want to have another kid, they're going to be banging next to Uncle Joe or something. So a lot of them go to these places just to try and have a kid. So they're everywhere.
So this is not necessarily prostitution.
Oh no, but there is that. I mean, you can go downtown in Tokyo, and you can find an escort, and it's the same thing. You have a screen, and you can see the different girls that are in the apartments. You don't go in, but they will come out and they'll accompany you for the evening. If you're a businessman, you're going to a meeting, whatever it is, that's not very uncommon.
So
I
is
feel
it
like
legal?
that's the way to live. I walk up to a screen, like that, hit it. She
Stressed
comes
out businessman.
down.
Put the tie behind my back.
Yeah. What? I just wanted to eat some ramen with me
Okay.
on the streets of Tokyo.
So is prostitution legal in Japan?
No, well, I don't think so. I mean, they're an escort, so wherever that goes, I mean, just like anything in, I guess, Vegas, whatever you call an escort, you call it what you want, I guess.
All right, so it's still illegal, but maybe not as maybe decriminalized.
It's not unheard of. No, it's not. Yeah, It's not. No one's out to look, to bust anybody up on that. I don't think.
So this particular Japanese love hotel is just a regular hotel with themed rooms that you rent out to bring someone, whether it be your significant other or a escort, to go bang them in. Do you rent by the hour?
I know a dude that went there by himself. He just went there with like you don't need to bring anything. I mean, they have how you have little soaps, little things at a regular hotel, or you have a little bar where you pay for the little bottle of wine. They'll have dildos in there. They'll have lube.
I'm not using
everything you need.
Hold on, it's not like if I go to Sam's house and I get too drunk and I sleep on her
you take
couch.
it home.
I don't walk into her. I start using her toothbrush.
Well, hold on. The dildo is like dispensed out of some sort of like machine?
No, it's just floating in
Yeah,
the toilet.
you had to break a seal of some sort and to know that it was used or whatever. But yeah, tiny condoms. You can find tiny condoms there.
Tiny condoms.
I see what you did there. That's not nice.
Yeah, it's a Marine.
I heard
Well,
that's
they
a
were.
myth.
Yeah.
I heard that's a myth, and I like them a little snug. It makes me
you don't want to loose like a
They're
old
extra
sock.
Oh my
stretchy
God.
over there.
Yeah, I don't want to like put my. It's like putting my junk in a Walmart bag.
So what did what was your goal? Just to stay there?
Just go in there to steal some dildo
Yeah.
and some soaps.
Did
Yeah,
you?
well, we just wanted, we paid by the hour. We didn't stay the night there or anything. They're all pretty much paid by the hour. You could stay the night if you wanted to, but
It'd be
what's the
cool to
sense,
sleep
you know?
in a jungle room for the night.
What?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
if
so.
you live
I'm
in
into it.
yeah, if you live in Tokyo, it might be kind of fun to, or if you're visiting rather, you pop in there
Yeah.
for one night and stay in the jungle.
Yeah, well, people. It's funny what people are not weirded out by and weirded out. Like when I told people about the Tom and Dan RV idea, I got so many people were like, "Ew, gross! You're gonna have listeners bang in your RV," and I'm like, "Don't you guys stay at hotels?" And then like this hotel is like literally made for banging, and then people go and stay. Like everybody who stays here is banging everywhere,
Right.
So they're fine with that. And then most hotels
Yeah.
is like you understand that concept, right? Of this weird shit.
But I would like to talk
Yeah.
to somebody that cleans the rooms because is there?
Oh,
like-
they were very easy to clean. I mean, everything was slick surface, and
Yeah.
even the sheets were pretty slick. So
Yeah, you don't want a bunch of
and-
shag carpet with cum in it everywhere. You know,
Stop
it's like,
it.
that's what happens.
I wasn't thinking of cum as much as I was thinking of doo-doo.
Well, I do.
Doo-doo.
Well, because if you go to the Love Motel, I feel like
Scatting?
you're more apt to toadin.
Even when you're taking a shit in one of them, you have a screen in front of you playing porn. Like there's always
Alright.
screens, and it's all that pixelated porn, and you
Wait a
can
minute.
switch
Th-
channels. There's
so-
like seven
so
channels of
I'm
porn
like,
on.
oh, I'm staying in the jungle room, but I ate too much ramen, and I run to the bathroom and I'm shitting, and then the TV pops porn on while I'm
Yeah.
shitting.
I don't know.
Is
People are into things.
Is there porn everywhere? Like, I'm
Oh
not,
yeah. Lay on the bed and it's above you. Look to the left, look to the right. We had a little jacuzzi sauna thing too, and it's in the sauna and the jacuzzi.
So
Everywhere
just
you go.
pornography everywhere.
Were you there with
Yeah,
just
yeah.
your?
You don't really have a choice of real TV. I think it's just porn.
Yeah,
Were-
was
were-
it just you and your bros
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out in the porno jungle?
Were you there with your military buddies?
Hey, come sit in this jacuzzi with me, bro, and watch some pixelated porn. Oh, look, we're in a jungle. I love you. I love being Marines.
Throwing
Air
grenades.
Air
yeah.
Force, yeah.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
Air
what
Force,
being
but
in the
yeah,
Air Force is
there's a lot of
all
Marines there.
about.
The Marines are right about us.
You want to play some volleyball after this?
Don't tell the Army that this is what we did because they'll
Yeah.
be like, we knew it. We make
Talk
these
about a
jokes.
stereotype. Like all the Air Force guys are in a porn jacuzzi in a jungle.
If only the Coast Guard was here.
But they'd just be smoking weed, playing video games.
Yeah, they're
Like
surfing.
they're like children.
So you rented it for a couple hours and went with your
Would you guys just go in there and sit around?
Air Force buddies just to experience it?
Yeah. You mean the guy that went there by himself?
No, you like so you go
Yeah,
there.
Oh yeah, we went. Yeah, just as a bucket list. If you know that they're there, and you're that close, you can't not go stay. You
So-
know?
so-
You
so
gotta
how do
go.
you-
It's like
how do
climbing
you-
Fuji.
So how do you pay? Is there a human that you?
Oh, no, yeah. So you walk in. There's a double door. So when you get to walk in, you walk into a door, you shut it, and then there's a door you pay at that will open once you pay with a card.
I like that.
So it's
like
all
cash, I
automated.
you don't see
Oh yeah.
any people.
You don't see anybody, and you didn't see any cleaning staff. You didn't see any. You didn't see another person.
They come in through a
walking
hidden
Yeah, yeah.
door.
I
They
like
pop
that.
out of the jacuzzi. You know, they're like,
I like that about there's two things I really like about the Japanese culture. One is they're very respectful.
Yeah.
Like they will,
but they don't set you into uncomfortable situations.
They will follow. Yeah.
Right.
But they're also very embarrassed by their own
Everything.
yeah.
They're general. They're-
Like-
I mean, they
yeah.
would blur all their hair if they could.
yeah. They're embarrassed
Yeah.
about their
Yeah.
own
That's
human.
a fact. A lot of people don't know that up until I want to say maybe 10 years ago, Japanese men and women on TV, even their head hair would be blurred. They're very, very modest people.
Yeah. They're very modest about their sexual.
Yeah,
lust.
they've been
Everything
wearing
fuzzy.
masks. They've been wearing masks for a long time too, so it's
Yeah.
nothing new for them. They like to hide their expression, so they're embarrassed if they smile or laugh. They put their hand up, or they'll wear a mask, and kind of shields them a little bit.
I like that.
in a way.
I like that culture. Respectful, afraid of their emotions.
Tom, Tom likes that.
Yeah, I do.
Respectful, no emotion, hide your genitals.
Yeah.
Hide them.
Yeah,
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
even have them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they-
If you lose
they,
on money,
they have
fall on your sword. Yep.
they also have chew highs over there. I heard you guys like the White Claws. So chew highs are like 9% White Claws, and they've had those around for a long time. Just
Yeah, Bart
vodka
Merrick.
drink. So
Bart Merrick
Yeah.
a long time ago, I think, gave us some chew highs. We had them.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to get
cool.
fucking twisted on
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
my God.
yeah,
They're
they'll
very
get you.
aggressive sodas.
Yeah, and, refreshing, and that's the thing, you know.
Yeah, they're
They'll-
good. They're really good,
they'll
but
bite ya.
they're very strong.
Yeah.
So, what else? I'm interested about Japan. So, the other things, the stereotypes, the stuff that I'm sure is not prevalent, but it happens. You know, we hear about the vending machines that sell like the used panties and things like. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that's just
Is it one? Is it two on the panties?
What do you mean?
Or is it?
Panties?
Or are they just? They're not stained, right? They're just worn.
Oh no, yeah, they will they'll advertise what they did in them, if they pissed, if they shit, if they came, and it has a picture of the girl in the little egg. You know the little chicken egg that used to pop out of the chicken. You turn the quarter.
That's a hell of a. It used to be Fred Flintstone. There was a chicken in there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
the Fred Flintstone one.
It's
You
like
turn the thing and they go, Bonnie! And then a chicken
Right.
egg would pop out. And then you mean to tell me
Yeah.
as a kid, I open it up, there's a pair of shit panties in there.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah.
a picture of the Japanese girl going like
Yeah, with a
hiding
picture
her
of
mouth.
what happened. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's yeah. I actually paid for some. I bought them and I sent them to a buddy back stateside. I don't remember what happened after that, but
Would you
yeah,
black
it's
out?
one of those things that started it.
As soon as I put them in the mail, I blacked out, fell to my knees. I was like, what have I done? I just said shit panties stateside. I'm an animal.
It's an odd dichotomy because in one instance, like you have this culture that blurs out the genitals during porn and is very like subdued as far as modest.
Yeah, I
with
can't
it.
put my I
but
can't
then
figure it out.
Then the shit panties is
Yeah.
like, oh, that's extreme. Like we don't. I feel like a vending machine of shit panties here would be like too far. Like, I don't want that. But it's like, but wait a minute, you want that?
Wait,
I
now
thought
who's
this
the
is
guy? Who's the guy that has to go there once a week and he opens it up and he's like, we're all out of cum panties. I'm restocking the cum, and he's like, hold on, and then you're standing there and you're like, I've been waiting for you, and the guy like, what do you
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
He's like, I put $70 in here, and my shit panties are stuck at the top. Hold on, and the guy goes in there with like a robot arm and hooks your shit panties and go, here you go, and here's a pair of piss panties for your trouble.
Is it all panties, or do they throw in like
No,
Three
there's
Musketeers?
There's a
Yeah, it's cum panties, piss panties, shit panties, hot fries, honey bun, Snickers,
Yeah,
baby Ruth,
I mean, I don't know.
Lance crackers.
I wanted some shit panties, and I'm
But before that, I need to,
I'm feeling a little grumpy. I need the Snickers.
I'm hypoglycemic, and if I'm gonna sniff
Ew,
these
if
shit
you're gonna have
panties,
shit panties
Oh,
and
yeah.
a Snickers, no.
no,
It's not at the
you
same
can buy
time.
pretty much.
You don't. How are you gonna mix that up?
Yeah, I put the shit panties for later. The Snickers
Yeah.
is because
I need this. I'm not myself. I need a Snickers.
Yeah.
It
Turn
really
into,
satisfies.
turn into Betty White.
The only thing I didn't see was a
Big
used
vending machine.
tampon. I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
waiting
that's
for
a,
that one.
they're not. I don't think they're gonna go that far.
Yeah, it's
I
just,
would like to
No.
think there's a line even for shit panty vending machines.
but
You would hope, yeah.
you understand
I
what
think
I'm
there's
saying.
just some guy. I think there's some Chinese guy, just making a bunch of money somewhere. I don't think anybody's sent any of those back to get
Japanese
verified,
guy.
like test the DNA on something or.
Japanese guys are not all the same. Just trying to help you out. We're talking about Japan.
Dustin lived there in Japan. He's
He's like, I don't know.
There's a lot
These
of-
Koreans do.
Chinese people here. It was like, nah.
What's wrong with your eyes? Like, come on, man.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's weird that the same country that has obviously mandated some sort of guidelines for pornography and the fact that they've deemed it indecent to have like non-blurred out genitalia in their pornos, but also
Well, that's why they got to have the love hotels. They keep it contained in one building.
true. But then the old panties vending machine, they're fine with
But it comes in a.
You
so-
think with they'd mandate other rules that I don't know.
So the
they're all
panties
over the
come in
place.
an egg, right? And then it has the picture of the girl inside the egg. And
Yeah.
And then did you ship the egg too, or just?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I shipped the whole thing. Yeah, I didn't
Did you
open it. I
open
didn't
it up?
inspect it. No.
Did you
No.
Okay, so you didn't
no,
even
didn't,
open it.
Didn't do that. Yeah, no, I have
So,
limitations.
Let's start selling Tom and Dan.
I don't think
We'll sell your boxers and we'll sell my
No
old
one-
man Tidy Whities.
No one wants
There's
that.
a market for
But
everything.
Someone
Big
will,
eggs.
Someone will buy them.
I don't know.
No, mine's actually not that big. I got tiny ones
Well,
on the day.
So
I might have my thongers on today.
that it leads me to.
I made you laugh.
So you know how I wonder if these things are actually for locals that want this, or
No,
only
it's a
for
novelty.
It's for your collection.
if it's tourists because.
Let me tell you about, they have festivals over there for fertility. They have a low fertility rate, and for whatever reason, I don't know how to get into that, but they have these fertility festivals where they carve giant dicks out of wood, and they carry them around shrine to shrine. They toss these giant mochi balls that look like giant cum balls to the crowd. The priests throw them out, and they're suckers they sell, and they're all
Wait a
dick-shaped
minute.
or clit-shaped, and there's kids licking
so
them.
there's
It's
a
really weird.
priest
Wait,
throwing.
what?
So
Hold
there's
on,
a
what the
Japanese
fuck?
What is
priest
happening?
throwing cum balls into the audience, and kids are eating the dick lollipops.
Oh, yeah. They'll
Are
eat the
you
cum
on
balls, too.
acid
They
right
eat
now?
'em.
They eat the cum balls.
Don't eat the cum balls.
Yeah,
Again.
look them up. Yeah, you can Google it. It's a thing. They do it every year. They replace the old dick with a new one, and it's like a pole. It's huge. And
Kanamara
everything's
Matsuri.
dicks and clits and tits. And
Dicks and clits
really
and tits.
yeah, and priests
Oh,
throwing
my.
cum balls. Yeah,
Again.
and the cum balls are actually mochi. It's like a rice pounded mochi thing, but they throw it out to symbolize like cum shooting out into the crowd, for fertility or whatever.
Alright.
And people crowd like they're at
But
a
blur
concert
those
trying to catch
pubes,
them.
everybody.
Yeah, okay, yeah. What is it?
Got to keep the pubes blurred, but hold on.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
right back. Gotta
Exactly.
throw
There's
these
no
cum
pubes
balls.
on the wood poles. Yeah, right.
They don't like
yeah,
pubes.
everything but pubes there.
But that's the thing. That's why I get frustrated because I'm like, well, which is it? Are you totally free and
Yeah.
you're fine with it, or you're blurring it out? I don't understand.
You're picking and
Right.
choosing at this point.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is very weird.
I mean, call me crazy, but I would leave the pubes and blur the cum balls.
You would think, yeah.
It seems more extreme.
Yeah, more pubes, less cum balls for me.
It's like the same
Yeah.
culture. It's like it's fine
Oh,
with
Lord. I'm reading the.
dick candy.
Did you just become an old Southern? She goes, oh lordy.
I'm reading.
He became like
I'm reading
my grandma.
the history on the Kanamara Matsuri festival.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
pretty fucked up. According to the legend, a demon in the Edo period had unrequited feelings for a beautiful woman. However, when she married another man, the demon, out of spite, waited in the woman's vagina for the wedding night. The moment the new groom tried to consummate the marriage, the sharp-toothed demon bit off the poor man's member.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That's precious.
That's a long way to go to
yeah.
get back at your
Oh,
ex.
yeah. They're demons. They have demons for everything. over
I'll
there.
show this motherfucker I'm in her vagina, and when this motherfucker fucks her, I'm gonna bite his cock off.
Then it goes, eventually the woman remarried, but the jealous demon once again mangled the new bridegroom's manhood.
This guy,
So
come
the
on, you
ingenious-
gotta let it go, man.
So the ingenious villagers came up with a plan to trick the demon by using a steel phallus. The next time the demon tried his fiendish trick, he was left toothless. So he tried to bite a steel dick and broke all his
Oh,
teeth.
you broke my teeth.
Now he's got no teeth. They give me a cum job in there.
So that's why they have the festival.
No, but now he's better than ever.
yeah.
Right, yeah,
I'm
they
like,
don't
keep
have to
biting,
worry. They're
keep
just
biting, demon.
I feel like
demon blowjobs.
Also, demon, if you had the power to somehow shrink yourself and be in a vagina, like you couldn't have stronger teeth, A, or have the ability to make this woman love you.
Yeah, maybe just be nicer to her.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
she'd
think
love you.
Your whole plan is flawed.
Also, there'd be nothing that feels better than a tight vagina with a demon with no teeth stuck in your dick inside of it. That's the ultimate sex partner. It's like, I'm fucking a tight vagina. Feels great, but it can be a little bit there's a demon sucking my dick. He has no teeth. It's a gum job. Amazing. Sex will get no better. better.
Oh, this guy has a dick nose glasses on. Look at this.
Oh, okay.
I want
my
those.
God,
Oh, yeah.
that's Jim Colbert.
Kids with the lollipops are the best. They're just walking around with a giant.
No,
like,
it's not
pink
good.
dick,
No,
lollipop.
that's not. They should
They
know
got
as
dick
parents.
candles.
Yeah.
So you guys slap that out of their hands. You got to be like, put that down.
Again, Japan, are you ultimately open with your sexuality, or are you shame? Like, I don't know. It's like what?
It's like it changes with the wind.
Yeah, you're doing the extreme and shaming at the same time, and you're sending a mixed message to your people. Dustin, thanks for telling us. How long were you stationed in Japan for?
4 years, just one overseas long tour.
Right on, man. And you out of the military now?
I did. Retired 2 years ago.
Right on.
Awesome.
Thanks for
moved to
doing that.
Michigan. Yep.
Appreciate your service, my friend, and I'm glad you're.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Everything's great. All these stories are, I love it,
Yeah, those are the stories I like to. Like, I've got a lot of really good buddies that were in the military that actually use it the correct way. They used it for education and traveling, and they've become some of the better people that I know.
Or I know some people that went in at 18 and are about to retire
they're
at
rich.
the age
Yeah.
of 38, and then they're going to be like, "Well, I retired. I get these benefits forever."
Pension,
and I'm like,
yeah.
38?
Yeah,
That's my age. I just started.
38. That's way past
Yeah.
me.
I just started the
I
grind.
retired at 39. I retired.
Wow.
Oh, good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
what do you do now, if you don't mind me asking?
I work for an energy company in Michigan, outside of the greater Lansing area.
Cool.
Sweet.
What do you get when you retire? I honestly don't know because
You get a F-16. They just give it.
what are the benefits?
Well, you get a percentage of how many years you actually stay in, and then so that is like a pension that you receive. There's disability if you had gotten injured that you can factor in there, but the medical health benefits they're okay. I mean, those can always be better, just like anybody else. But I can't complain, really.
Shit. So you get a pension and you get free medical for life?
Oh yeah, yep. My wife too, for medical, and family.
That's awesome.
Shit.
My
I
kids, so,
pay $1,200 a month for nothing. just literally
I
just in
wonder,
case I get cancer. I pay out of the pocket for everything. It sucks.
So I wonder what these kids are going to do now with schools shut down and jobs being so low. I don't know if the line outside of a military recruiter is going to be long or not, but it worked for me.
Yeah, and it does.
It
works for some folks. Well, hey man, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us. And
Cool,
this will be on a BDM show, and you're not a listener, so you'll never hear this.
I am now. No, my brother-in-law turned me on, so I've been trying to catch
that's
up.
awesome.
Sam sent me some stuff, so I've been going into the back best of and
Well,
things
that's
like
great.
that. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I like it.
Thank
keep
you,
it up.
dude.
Appreciate it, man. And you are paying for a membership, correct?
I will now. How about that?
We'll give you 1 week free.
1 week free.
Just
But
look.
it's the one that you're on, so you just listen to
you
yourself.
you can go into the first door, pay with your card. We'll open the double door.
Yeah,
jack
I expect
off.
the same thing inside.
Just,
You tell your buddies to go in the other room while you're jacking in the hot tub.
Jesus.
and then wash your dick in the jacuzzi and blur your pubes. All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, guys. Take care. Yep.
All right,
Thanks.
man.
Bye.
See ya. All right, that ended awkwardly. No, it's funny because I was like, "You pay for a membership, right?" He's like, "I will now." I'm like, "Oh, I'm
Why'd
sorry.
you do
I'm
that?
sorry. I didn't mean to shame
I
you."
told you he wasn't a listener
Times are
originally.
tough, Sam. It's COVID crazy.
I know.
We need everybody we can get. Don't be stealing the shows. My God.
Up your love
That's
meters.
how you get paid.
Yeah.
If you like
Pina colada.
little Sammy Paranoid, if you love Sammy, you'll up your love meter so we
Please.
can continue to pay her.
Speaking of that, I'm guessing a lot of people are not going to travel as much, at least for the next couple of years right now.
That's
right?
why I'm looking into getting a
I don't know,
more.
man. People are traveling.
I'm
Well,
looking into getting
we see-
a bigger car, and the particular car I'm looking at has a tent that attaches to it. Have you seen
Okay.
it?
No.
Have you seen those?
No.
It's awesome. It's almost like a sleeping bag, and it goes over the back of your car.
Like in the bed?
Where the the back of a SUV. I'm looking at an SUV.
Oh, like a hatchback.
And the hatch
Okay.
comes up, and then you obviously you turn the car off, and then the tent goes over the entire thing and sets up. So you
Gotcha,
have an
yeah.
area that you can keep one person can sleep in the car if they want to. I mean, obviously you couldn't do it when it's super hot or you'd die, but
Yeah.
but you can sleep in that area, and then other people can sleep in the tent. It just comes off the side, so it gives you a bigger structure.
Gotcha,
It's better
yeah.
for rain. It's pretty neat. Like
Yeah.
I looked, I was like, that's not bad. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at because I don't think we're going to be taking any trips for about a year, and that sucks.
Yeah.
My resort trip that I was supposed to go to Nickelodeon and Dominican Republic, that place isn't even open until end of July.
That was
Yeah.
like this week, right?
Yeah,
You were
that
supposed
was
to be there?
that was supposed to be my birthday, and no, that wouldn't have. Even if I'd wanted to, it wouldn't have happened this year.
I'm going up to this is going to be played on Monday, but this past weekend I'm going to a hotel for the first
Love
time.
Hotel?
Not the Love
Yeah, he's
Hotel.
at a Love
Just
Hotel.
Taking the boat up to
I
St.
think you guys are
Augustine.
both going to the same place.
All
Basically,
right.
yeah.
Are you going to St. Augustine?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going up to my mom's spot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying
she'll
to save
like that.
money.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Well, that place you save a lot of money. You just tuck in,
Yeah.
and you could cook all your meals there. You don't have to spend a dime.
Yeah. And again, I thought there was like, oh, I'm gonna get a deal, but everybody's
No.
going to hotels.
No, you're right.
So and then
Yeah, Florida don't give a
Airbnbs.
damn. Everybody's
Well,
just
I mean,
booking
that's
things out.
that's why
Well-
we're one of the states that's being fingered right now.
Yep.
People I've heard that people are like more into RVs and what is that? What they have a term for it, like a safe vacation or something like that. Safecation.
A safecation.
I've never
Yeah.
heard. I've heard staycation, not safecation.
That's some new thing that people are trying to figure out how to basically do vacations or whatever and not be around people. So
Don't have a
you know.
vacation, have a playcation.
So
I fucking hate all
I'm
that
guessing
shit.
RVs and things like that are become more popular because it's just like you and your family, whatever.
Don't come up with a creative name. Just call it RV vacation.
And like hotels and things that you don't have to. Camping is
I
going to
love-
be maybe
I've-
more popular.
I've always loved hotels. I've never Airbnb'd. We've had this discussion many times on the show.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that my relationship with hotels, as well as my daughter's, because of COVID, will change. I think that, like all of this stuff will change. Our relationship with the theme parks, our relationship with all of that shit. It's all different now.
Yeah. Well, hotels is one of those things where it's like we don't, it seems fine.
Yeah.
It's more.
I used to love going to a hotel though.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was
My
awesome.
sons love it. They
it's
ask.
fun.
Yeah. But that's the thing. People will be doing more of that and less of the giant group activities and
I
at
like
least
the
for-
group activities though.
Yeah.
I like some group activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got to get out of here,
All
mediums.
right.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. Thanks to Akeem Woods for coming on the show and doing the first part of the BDM. And if you have an interesting story, kind of like Dustin had, hit us up. show@tomandan.com. We'll get you on the show.
Yep. All right, mediums. We'll see you.
Welcome back to a corporate welcome to a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
Tom.
Now, just full transparency. Before I said that and my voice cracked, I did say, "Welcome back to a corporate time with Tom and Dan."
Yeah. We
It's all running together now.
do a lot of recording,
We do.
this, that, and the other thing, and
I like that.
keeping track of it. It's hard.
Who invented that phrase? This, that, and the other thing.
I don't know.
Somebody's dad, right?
Sounds very dad-ish. Yeah. It's a very dad-ish thing to say this, that, and the other thing. My dad was just a walking collection of little phrases and little word knickknacks.
Yeah. That's what you do once you become older. You have your go-to jokes. I know
we're doing that, right?
yeah, grandfathers.
We just don't realize we're doing it.
Yeah, but it becomes where you have less and less of a pool because you forget
Yes.
all the variety of jokes you had, and then
Right.
you have your 10 go-tos, and then that's what you end up saying as a grandpa, and then you're just known as the crazy old man.
Like
that says
my
the same thing.
grandpa, I'm virtually certain that my pa Bob, he was my dad's mom's new husband after my dad's father had passed away. So he's his stepdad, I guess.
Oh.
And I called him Pa Bob, but I think he went through a phase where everything he said was, "I got my pants on, don't I?" That was like his answer.
Okay.
I'd be like, they'd be like, "Hey Bob, you want to get a Shoney's, for a hamburger?" And he'd be like, "Well, I got my pants on, don't I?"
Oh, yeah. It's
Down
kinda-
for anything.
Yeah, and then the other one that he used was if he talked to me on the phone, and I remember this, and even as a kid, I remember the amount of repetition that I would have talking to this old man, and I loved him. Don't get me wrong, this is not a diss. There's not many people I loved more than my grandparents. I mean, I think most people sort of feel that way. There's a special connection you have with your grandparents. I remember talking to them. They put me on the phone. You want to talk to Dan Lee? Yeah, Dan Lee, get in here. Pop-Pop's on the phone. And they hand me the phone, and he'd be like, what'd you do today? And, well, traditionally, living in Florida, you'd go swimming or something. I'd be like, I went swimming, and he'd be like, did you get your feet wet? It always...
it's always some sort of
it was always,
joke.
Got my pants on, don't I? Got your feet wet. There's always some sort of...
snarky kind of.
Yeah, just like a little...
Fun snark.
But it wasn't fun. It was just just repetition. It was... When I look back on it now, it was a meaningless conversation. Me and this dumb old man never talked about anything worthwhile.
Sounds like the conversations Tom's been having with this guy at where he's having his boat at the marina or whatever.
Oh, I've heard a few of those. I've heard a few of those conversations.
It turns out
old men like to repeat themselves.
They do.
Yeah, and also hard to have a conversation with a child because they got nothing interesting to say.
Oh, I 100%
Okay,
agree.
Wad says, this is funny. Wad says, my dad and grandfather do this too. They didn't speak English for decades. The same sayings. Yeah, I think you fall into a repetitive, as long as I'm just cranking out or squeezing out a few phrases that I'm known for, that I've done enough to still hold my place in the family, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you and I are moving to, the point where we just kind of sit there and we absorb, sports, okay? Or Westerns. Loud TV.
Yeah.
Beer or iced tea. Those are your only two beverages. And then you just fall into 10 to 25 phrases that let your other family members know you're alive.
Yeah.
And that's all you say, and then you die.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is it.
So when I put it like that, it sounds terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
But I think that's what happens.
Yeah. Does that also happen to Mimas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does happen to me. It's like
They
my
have
mom,
less sayings, though.
less
Joke
sayings.
sayings.
But more fakakta, and what I mean by that is garbage scams and miracle cures. Like my mom is always like, anti-inflammatory diet, Dr. Atkins. Water aerobic. There's always some new, this is going to change
New
my
gimmick.
life. And I know where she got it. She read Prevention Magazine.
Or Dr. Oz or something.
And then she's like, oh, you need more you need to castor oil to lube your bowels, and like all these weird things, take your IB guard to settle your tum-tum, So I think Mimas fall more into, which would make sense, right? Because they're more nurturing.
And old wives' tales. They're not old husband tales.
For the longest time when people would say old wives' tale, I thought it was an old lady with like an actual lion tail or a monkey tail. Doesn't Butler have a tail?
He does.
He's got
Butler, you had that disease where you have like an armadillo tail coming out of the top of your butt crack, right?
It's not an armadillo tail, but yes.
You do have that? Man.
Pull your pants out. Let me look at it.
Let me see your tail.
Let me make fun of your tail.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let me draw.
Didn't your wife
yeah.
just find out you had a tail?
Give me a grease pen. She's a chiropractor.
How does that
can
happen?
I mean, that's her. Her study is the tail.
But I mean,
Because it's just your
I
spine is
don't
too
spread
long,
my
right?
cheeks in front of her.
No, it's in there.
It's in
no,
between
it
your
should be
cheeks.
above. If you've
So
got it
no.
in there, that's just a hemorrhoid or something.
Yeah.
You need to go to the doctor.
not
And I'm not talking
hemorrhoid.
about your wife. Don't. You have a
It's
bone
an extended tailbone. It's when I broke it, and the way it healed naturally, it kind of curved back out. So it actually.
Can we tattoo scales on it? Right?
I'm
Gross.
confused.
Yeah. Can we see it, or is it in the crack?
I mean, I would have to spread my cheeks.
No, see, it's too far in there.
Yeah, wow.
It's too far
I mean,
in
if you
there.
want to see it,
Then you have something else. I'm talking about the top where your
Yeah.
spine comes down. Some people have
yeah, that's where it is.
a tail. Well, that shouldn't be in your cheeks unless
You're referring to the George Costanza movie, Shallow Hal.
You
That's
pull your pants down and you
not
have
the
a
same.
bulbous J-Lo ass.
yeah.
Like you don't have a butt like Max. No offense, but Max has got a round peach
Listen,
butt.
no one has a butt like that.
Yeah, he's got a peach butt.
Yeah, you got the British white
Yeah,
dude.
straight.
Flat.
It's like a wall with a tail growing out of it.
Yeah, gross.
Oh no.
I want a tail.
No,
Do you?
don't.
I think I do.
What's it good for?
Balance.
Absolutely
Balance.
nothing. Say it again. Tail. Ha! Hoo-ha! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
See, what you need is a prehensile tail. I think I said it right.
I think you did. Wow.
And
What you
to
need, but you
grab
always,
branches.
I can
Yeah.
feel you backing off though. What you need is a prehensile
yeah.
tail.
I wasn't confident about
Yeah.
that word, but
Did you read it from the chat or no?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I can't.
Wow.
I can't even see.
Okay.
It's getting worse and worse. I can't, all it
Get
looks
some
like is a
glasses.
Hey,
blur.
mine are getting worse and worse. So pretty soon the show's just gonna be two blind guys sitting here, and then and if I were blind, I think I would just use my hands.
Right.
I don't think I'd use a cane
Uh
because I'm getting older too, and just using your hands, you can get away with a lot.
huh.
I've seen the pornos.
So
The blind guy.
we're gonna
Christy
do
Canyon
some
was in.
emails.
Oh, yeah, emails and voicemails. That's what we're getting to. Sorry, I'll just sit here and talk
You
about
creep Tom out.
anything.
No, no.
Well, the tail talk creeps him out, and then having to look at Butler and then imagine the tail. And it's the first thing he does when he meets a new client.
He wiggles his tail.
Well, he shows it to him. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He
Lets him know
actually,
he's happy.
he
He's
actually
in a good
puts,
mood.
yeah,
It's been
he actually,
working actually.
he actually puts the proposal on his tail, and like Sam says, and then he wiggles it in front of their face.
Yeah.
He goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then they throw him a treat.
It's like one of those fish deep underwater. They have the bait that comes
lantern.
out the
Yeah,
top.
the
lantern fish.
Shake it in front.
Yeah, yeah. Never
It's
shake it.
gross. That's a gross situation we're talking about, by the way.
What? Butler like seducing new clients by putting
His
the
butt
proposal
tail?
on his butt tail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's unconventional, but like Tom said, it works. Ask Bart Merrick.
He chomps him with his butt cheeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
dog
my
chomp.
God.
Okay, that's too far. No one should be able to chomp. All right, I'll start. I mean, I don't know if I can answer this one, but I'm glad Butler's here because he might be able to.
Hey, how are you guys? Question for you. On the show a few weeks ago, you had somebody, you guys were talking about art, and I was wondering what the website was that you guys, the gentleman you were talking to, that they post and sell art on. If you give me a call back, 724.
All right.
These are
Sir.
these are some of my favorites. I'll let you handle this one.
First, I honestly, gun to my head, I have no idea
know, me
what
neither.
you're even referencing.
I don't either.
Like, not even what the website is. I don't even know the show you're talking
This
about.
voicemail is a test because I too have no idea what this man. I thought you might because you're an art collector. You
Yeah,
buy
I'm-
posters and you buy a lot of figurines
what
and
is he-
stuff like that. So does Kramer. So I was gonna ask you this question.
I believe the website was www.ebay.com.
I knew Butler didn't know.
His
No
tail
way.
was wiggling. I could see it. He had a joke because his tail was.
I bet anything on that. What show is he even talking
I have
about?
no idea.
That was the show
PD
you were talking about,
posters?
the Hope.
Oh, PD
PD posters.
posters.
Correct.
Oh. So he was talking about what website were we
Wherever
talking
he goes to sell his $10,000 poster or whatever it was.
MondoTees.com?
No, Mondo Tees is where you can buy stuff. That's a
Mondo
retailer.
Tees. Hold on, that's Sam's website. And I just signed up.
Bottleneck Gallery is a good
I'm
one,
still
too.
waiting for the videos, and I got to get approved.
So
Mondo Tees. Who
Mondo
was in
Tees.
charge of making that name?
I also do
Mondo
like
posters are worth a lot.
No, I know, but it sounds like a porn site.
Oh yeah.
no.
Well, they made T-shirts to start, and then it went into posters.
Well, good for them, man. Got to pivot.
We do operate a podcast where they all exist on our app or lots of different places. You could easily just go back and listen to us talk about that. But I guess to this gentleman, it's easier to call, leave a voicemail, leave his number for us to call
Should
him
we
back.
call him back?
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my
yeah.
question. Is
Call him
like,
back.
should we get his
We'll
number?
say, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
You know what happened? Like this shows you how like weird it is.
This is
for-
personal attention, right? Attention to detail. This is customer service. We call the guy back on the show. We're
Just
like,
to tell him we don't know.
got your message. Sorry it took us so long to call you back. I don't know.
I'm not joking. I received a letter, snail mail letter in the mail.
What?
It was addressed to
Hey,
me.
snail mail letter's better than a snail trail letter.
It's a dad joke.
I haven't opened a
They're
letter
coming out
in
today.
a long time, but I
Couldn't
opened
figure
it.
out how to open it, right?
Handwritten or
Handwritten-
typed
Were
up?
you like looking at it and tugging on it? You're like, I don't know. What is this?
Yeah, it was handwritten, which not a good sign
Someone
at
hid a
first.
piece of paper inside this vessel.
Usually, it's the first piece of evidence that the cops would start to collect. When,
Let me
once
see
I-
that. Let's dust it for fingerprints.
Once I'm killed outside my house by a listener.
There's a hair in the envelope.
It starts
DNA.
It starts with a handwritten manifesto. But this wasn't that.
I'd at least cut out the letters.
Oh, it's Deadly Dan found out your address.
Yeah,
Old
yeah,
school style.
I thought it was that. Immediately when I first saw it, I'm like, "Oh, this is this is the beginning of the end."
Yeah.
Boys, gather around.
Gather round.
Boys gather around. You don't want them to gather around until you've completely opened it.
Well,
Say, in case the ricin poofs in the air and then your lungs start seizing up.
I just wanted to let them know that Daddy won't be around for
Yeah.
too much longer.
Duck down. Get away from the windows.
So it was a neighbor that he was a fan of the show. And
I was peeking in your window and I saw Soapy Butt.
him and his wife started a company in which he manufactured window stickers that people, I don't know if they purchase or buy.
It shows you how many pets you have in your house. You use a Sharpie to mark off how many. That way the firefighters know who to get out of the house.
It was one of those stickers where you put on your car that reminds you that you may have an infant in your back seat. So
Hey,
you don't,
Dum-Dum, there's
Hey,
a
you got a
baby in your
kid.
car.
Don't forget.
I put that on everybody's car.
Yeah. So you don't leave your kid in the car and it,
Okay.
that kind of
The
thing.
sticker will help.
So I got the letter. I read it.
The
I was like,
sticker
oh,
won't stick to the car. It's too hot.
he's sending a couple stickers.
I'm kidding.
I wish I had the information
So
to plug it.
This car is hot. The adhesive's just melting off the side. Oh my God, there's something inside.
And my first reaction was to respond back to the letter and be like, yeah, we'll talk to you on the show.
You gotta write it. You gotta write him a letter.
Yeah,
But you don't know how to write.
I literally, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to respond to this. And then I was like, oh, they can't. And then
I don't know how to write.
Well, why don't you turn it over,
What?
write yes on it, put it back in the envelope, walk it down to his house, stick it in his mailbox.
Well, how did he have your address?
You can find it nowadays. You can find
that's
people's
everything.
addresses easy.
Everybody's.
Well,
I'm,
don't do
I'm
that.
looking at Google
Just
Earth of your
email
house right
somebody.
now. I'm looking at Google Earth of your new house right now. I'm looking at you take a shower with Travis.
There's no more secrets in the world.
uh-uh.
But so anyway,
Wow. The last secret was Butler's tail. we just leaked that one.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that.
I didn't know what to do with it.
You got to write him a letter.
No, not doing it.
Did he give you any other contact info besides his
no email,
physical address?
No, that was just that, and
Wow.
and that was it. And
That
I was
is
like,
old school.
I want to plug your sticker business that's saving babies' lives. I just
The baby life-saving stickers.
I'm not gonna write you a letter, and they'll probably listen to this. So, neighbor who has that business,
I'm not going to write you a love song.
email me. I'll promote it. I'll happy to do that, but. When you send me a letter, I
like
got
that.
nothing after that.
I'm pretty proud of myself. Every day this week, Monday through Thursday, this is we're taping this on a Thursday, I've made a reference to a particular old song every single day.
Which was song?
That one was
Not gonna write you a love song.
Oh.
And I did Beastie Boys, and then I did Coheed and Cambria, and then I did a bunch of them. All right, let's try. Do you really want to call this guy?
Yeah.
Call back 724.
Okay, there you
Okay.
go. You got it. All right,
Yeah.
give him a call, Sam.
What's his name? Or he didn't tell us?
Let's see if he says at the beginning.
No way he picks up. Who picks up?
Hey, how are you guys?
Unknown number.
Question for you.
No, he
On the
doesn't
show.
say his name.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
So you're betting he will not
No.
pick up.
Who answers a random
Old
number?
people that leave voicemails asking about.
I think this is a young guy with an old voice.
Yeah.
don't think so.
I think it's a young
Are you
guy
calling me right now?
who's not good at.
Oh, yeah. Answer.
Oh wow! Oh, you were wrong. God, I got to start betting against you. I'd be
know.
making a lot of money this
I
year.
know.
They could talk to you about the voicemail you left.
Oh, is he gonna freak out? I can't really talk right now. I'm in a Japanese love motel.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
we're live right now, so yeah, you can call us back whenever you're done.
I'm pooping.
cranking out a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
Put my pop socket on
I'm
the
at my
wall.
daughter's wedding.
All right, just call back when you can. All right, bye. He was in the middle of a massage and he answered the phone. But this guy
Hold on, I was
is
right.
a unicorn.
I was right. He
yeah.
is at a Japanese love motel. He's in the middle of a massage.
He's like, I'm actually in the middle of a massage right now. Can
I know
I
what that means.
got
If
my
you're
money in
answering
the
the
booth.
phone, you're laying on your back, and I know what that
Yeah.
means. You're not answering the phone with your head in the donut.
That was not an answer I was expecting.
Yeah.
Where, do you have like is your phone?
Yeah, what do you have it
right
right
next
next
to you? Yeah, it's weird. It's in your pants.
Whoa.
next to the
Isabella, stop cranking it. Hello?
where you take your clothes off.
Hey, excuse me for a second. Can you reach over in that boot? You get my phone's in that boot. Not that boot. The 50's in that boot. Get the other boot.
That's
got
the money
phone.
boot.
Yeah, get out that Nextel, that big yellow Nextel, and go ahead.
I wish I had my
open
phone
it
the
all
last
the
time
way
that I
up
got a
and
massage.
hit the green button. Hello.
Wow, that was weird. So
So-
this guy is interesting to me because not only did he leave a voicemail asking for a radio show to call him back,
Question.
but he also picks up his phone while getting a massage.
Yeah,
Question.
and a random
and
number.
who
And a
gets-
random number.
A random number. And who gets a massage at 1 p.m. on a Thursday?
This guy.
Yeah.
Most people don't. So after lunch, he decided, you know what? I'm getting a massage.
That's the life.
I'm gonna massage some of this Panda Express out of my Duke.
So
Hey, first things first. I'm gonna get completely naked. Do not rub my tail. And if you see it moving, just leave it alone.
Run.
Put a rag over it.
you're right. This may be the most fascinating gentleman in the world because
We gotta take bets on like his age, his job.
All
okay,
right.
all right, yeah.
I think he is 32 years old.
Oh,
No
you're going
way.
young?
No
I think he's
way.
32 years old. I think his job is he works in retail.
Oh.
And I believe he is a manager of a Sprint store. There, that's my
Okay.
guess.
Okay. See, I'm going less tech savvy because the
Yeah,
manager of a
that's what I'm
Sprint
thinking.
store, I don't think would leave a message asking for us to call him back for information.
Right.
He just figure it out on the internet or whatever. So I'm
This
47 years
guy's never
old.
been to the Sprint store. Right? I'm just saying. How many times?
Touche.
How many times have I been there
You're
and
right.
had somebody not fix my phone? Sorry, Sprint. I'm just saying. It's like
I'm going
bad.
47, and the people that go to get massages at 1 p.m. on a Thursday.
This is a blue collar
This is his
man.
day
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is his day off. And he's got some money. That's what I'm banking on.
Working.
Managerial. He's got some money to be honking down at least $75.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some of the places, it may be a regular just getting a.
Juan has a
tug.
guess. He says this guy is an HVAC repairman getting a massage to work out the kinks of hard labor. I could see that.
44-year-old male drives an R&L carrier vehicle. Smells like Winston cigarettes.
All right.
Oh, so he's smoking. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say late 40s. Definitely something. I think like manual labor.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say construction, but I don't know if.
Now, is the equivalent of the Price is Right $1 if Tom says, I think it's a girl baby? Is that the $1? If he just goes the 180 of what
opposite.
we're doing and he actually ends up being closer just because he's not going over?
Yeah.
Is that how it
yeah,
works?
I think so. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, we'll do some more voicemail,
Yeah, we'll
email.
close out the show.
Hopefully, we can find out about this mystery massage man.
mystery massage man?
Mystery massage man. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's jump back. Let's go with emails. Let's jump into
Okay.
some emails because I know Samantha's been keeping these. If you'd like to send us an email, super duper easy to do, and we'd love to receive your correspondence. show@tomanddan.com. That's what you're gonna want to email to. Goes right to me or Sam, and then Sam might read you on the show like this.
Hey guys, do you remember the rival to Kool-Aid? I think it was called Funny Face. I liked it more than Kool-Aid. Sippin' free Tito's.
Hold on.
I have.
I don't recall Funny Face.
It's-
There was Flavor Aid.
I remember Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
Funny Face is. It sounds sort of familiar.
I do not remember. Yeah, Butler just yelled out "Tang." I remember
Sure,
that.
there's Tang.
I have a commercial for Funny Face. Oh, it's old. Yeah, I got a 1960s Funny Face ad. So let me throw this on.
This is Kool-Aid's competitor.
Yeah, this would have been Kool-Aid's competitor, Funny Face. So here is a Funny Face commercial.
Howdy! Grapes, the name. Goofy Grape. Though why they call me Goofy, I don't know. Yes, sir. I'm one of the new Funny Face drinks from Pillsbury.
Sounds like Scooby-Doo.
One
no,
of the new
Tigger,
Funny
right?
Face drinks. Here's what you do. You
Yeah.
pour me into a pitcher, add water, don't add sugar. I'm already sweet when you buy me. You can drink all you want. Mom won't mind. 'Cause look, Mom, I'm pre-sweetened without sugar.
Well, what are you sweetened with?
So are my friends. Ins and outs.
What a Injun
Oh, no,
Orange.
this
Oh,
is
hold on.
racist
Yeah, this
as
one's
hell.
racist. This part gets bad. Injun Orange is just I guess a culturally appropriated orange that is wearing a feather hat, and he's got a war paint on.
Oh, rootin' tootin' raspberry.
I like rootin' tootin' raspberry.
Freckle-faced strawberry.
Chinese cherry.
That's
Oh,
racist.
the Chinese cherry's real racist.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, it's the
Loudmouth
1960s.
lies. Hello. Look for us at your store. Funny face drinks from Pillsbury.
Funny faces for children.
We're sweet without sugar, so no sugar mess.
So what are they sweetened with, Funny
Right.
Face? Huh.
Is it some sort of original, like non-sugar artificial flavoring, like aspartame or something like that? You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
it's no sugar, it's got to be.
Yeah, I'm imagining it would be the earlier aspartame ones. And apparently the commercial was banned. So here's a...
It says it was sweetened with calcium cyclamate,
No,
That doesn't
that's definitely
sound- oh,
poison.
that doesn't sound good.
which was banned in the United States in 1970.
Yeah, so was this commercial. Check this out.
Jesus.
This version of the Funny Face was banned.
face. Funny face is fun to drink. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, I see Engine Orange.
Oh, no.
Okay, so the kid's
He's opening the cabinet.
Yeah, every time he opens the cabinet, these racist fruits start singing to him.
Fun to drink for everyone. Goofy grape. Engine orange.
Racist.
Face strawberry.
That's okay.
Chinese cherry.
That's racist.
Loudmouth lime. Rootin' tootin' raspberry.
At least they didn't do like a stereotypical like Asian voice for Chinese cherry.
Uh,
So that one is
They
that
did hit a gong, though.
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, you get to a point where you're like, well, gongs, traditionally made in
Well, they gave
Asia.
they gave a cherry slanty eye.
Yeah,
which
that's a
is
problem.
Pretty
That's a
racist.
problem. Okay, he gets the packages.
Funny face drinks from Pillsbury. Pre-sweetened without sugar. Mom lets me drink all I want because there's not a speck of sugar in Funny Face, but it tastes good and sweet. And no sugar mess all over the kitchen either.
Oof.
There's just some chemical that's apparently straight poison.
I've never heard of that chemical. I've heard of Funny Face,
I don't think I've ever heard of Funny
but
Face.
it was before my time. But it was like one of those things where I only have heard of it because of probably my love for older commercials.
Yeah.
Because, like, we had a guy that called in. Let me see if I can find this voicemail. I have a voicemail that, like, sort of ties into it, where we had a gentleman that called in, and he asked why we use, for a corporate time, a lot of the like, vintage commercials and stuff like that. He's like, it's funny that you guys use that. He's like, I've been sleeping on them, and I guess people assume that those are just made by either the station or by some company and just gifted out to you. But no, we have to make those things. We make all that stuff in-house.
Yeah. By we, Daniel means himself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but
I,
we all share ideas. I mean, and stuff like that. And that's how inspiration strikes. But anyway, yeah. So we got that one. Let's try for voicemails. Again, let's try this guy right here. I think we've had this one sitting around for a minute.
Hey, Tom and Dan, this is Tony BDM from Idaho, and this is my second attempt on what I think is comedy gold here.
Oh, boy.
I hope the desperation doesn't come through this voicemail. Anyway, I want to address the most useless of all medical people, even worse than pharmacists, that is the chiropractor.
Okay.
I've gone to
better stop that one.
You're gonna get Butler mad.
Yeah. He gets a little. Well, there are the ones that say they can cure cancer, and I just don't think that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not. At least they are doing something
correct
that, in my mind, is more than counting out items and putting it in a bottle. That's the only thing I
touche. Yeah, physical therapy is a real thing.
At least they're like to crack your back and neck. You have to have certain technique that you're honing over years to make it work right.
My neck, my back,
the
my pee, and my crack.
if you're, just going to walk over to the old shelf and take out the big jug of OxyContin and then count out 30 and put it in that.
But hey, if you combine the two, like getting a massage on OxyContin, that's pretty good.
I think that's what Mystery Massage Man's doing right now.
Probably so. This one's for you, Tom. This is brings up something that you hate immensely.
Tom, Dan, Sam, Travis, rest of the R team. Driving to work down Fairbanks. No, wait, where am I? 1792. And some F&D heads riding a penny farthing. It is 2020. It's coronavirus, and you're going to be doing that right now? No mask, no helmet, just out there willy-nilly on a penny farthing. Tom? Stop. Love you, bro. BDM Mike. BDM forever.
There you go.
I was only mad at the penny farthing.
You hate the penny farthing
when it was first invented, not now, because now you're
vintage.
You're just vintage. You're a hipster, whatever.
You are a hipster. Have you seen the super mega tall penny farthings?
Yeah.
Where it's like a penny farthing on the bottom, and then the seat is in the sky. And you ride like there's a bike on the bottom, sort of regular size, and then the person sits in the clouds, and they just kind of.
Well, that's just tall bike.
But
that's not a penny farthing.
What is the appeal of the tall bike?
It's hey, look at me, I got a tall bike.
It's the parrot or boa constrictor of bikes.
Yeah. It's just you want attention,
right?
And you're like, look how tall this bike is. That's the only, because you have to.
The
stop.
tall bike is the jewel on your front tooth of bikes.
Yeah. And the reason
I was
why
going to say nose ring, but I didn't want Sam to get mad. Nose rings are really cool.
I had disdain for penny farthing is because I was mad that they didn't just figure out two same size wheels would eventually be better than this stupid invention, and it took how many years for it to just go to just make the two wheels same size.
It's because there was no. I don't think they were using a chain. It was literally just pedals on the wheel, and it's like, well, this is the circumference of this particular circle has to be this way because if not, I'll just be going, like.
I know, but also that was made me mad because the idea of the chain and the sprocket seemingly so much easier than once you got into mass developing the penny farthing. Like, why didn't anybody this whole junk from start to finish hey, we can do it better than this.
Juan brought up a question. He said we were talking about tall bikes. I think that's what he's referencing. He said, I still don't even understand how you get the thing going. I saw a guy the guy that rides a tall bike around here, he's got dreadlocks.
Yeah, get up on a ladder.
Well, he when he stops, because he does he stops. He does street signs. It's he'll ride up to a stop sign or something, and he'll lean over and hold it. Oh. And then when he can go, he'll pedal and off he goes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, that seems like a regular bike would be a little easier, but hey, man, I mean, if you're okay with it. Plus, if you're you can't go to the grocery store on that.
I guess you could. It's just
but why would you?
Well, it's because you want attention, and you're like, look how tall my bike is. That's the only reason.
Who has the tallest bike?
I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some.
But it's got to be a small bike.
Is it the same mentality of guys that jack their trucks up?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
You want to be high in the air and look down at people while you go down the road?
The truck. I mean, there's two ways of thinking the truck thing is either aesthetics, you like the way it looks. Or the other one is I like to go out and test my truck, and see the climbing capability.
No, but what if you don't do that and you just drive around on the streets?
A lot of those guys,
a lot of guys
that's the aesthetics guys. Those are the guys that
maybe they like the aesthetics of the penny farthing.
Like our friend over here that has the big truck that we both know.
Yeah.
He has it because he just likes the way it looks. It looks aggressive.
Yeah.
It looks, tough and manly.
The tall bike,
it's got to be small and tall.
What's worse, the tall bike or the ones where they lay down all the way and pedal?
Recumbent bike?
Oh, that's for an old
You're going as low as you can go.
I hate the recumbent bike.
Yeah.
I hate
worse
than
the penny farthing, though?
Yes, it is worse.
Okay.
And the people are rude. There's a guy that rides out here. There's a younger man that has the recumbent bike, and he is a D-head on that thing. He rips around the lake, and because he's laying down like that, it's he can get going good. and he drives the thing like an a-hole, and he almost runs me and my daughter over all the time. And I'm like, this. And he's got the helmet with the little mirror that comes out.
Yep.
And he's got the full gear and everything. And look, we're just out there for and I try to get May to stay on the right. But man, if he gets impatient, he'll just rip through like an a-hole. And I always want to throw something at him, but I never have anything to throw.
Break his little side mirror.
I can't get. He's too fast. He's rip it. I mean, this guy rips.
That that thing you lay down in. You pedal with your feet and then you steer with your hands.
Yeah, you steer with your hands.
I feel like that is an
stupid,
unnatural feeling.
I hate it. Like when I see those people. Like I honestly think it's one invention that we could just get rid of. If you need exercise that bad, go walk on a treadmill like the rest of us. Like you don't get to ride that thing.
It's the slingshot of. Like the slingshot is to motorcycles what that is to bicycles, right? It's
I think the slingshot's cooler. I'm cooler with the slingshot than I am recumbent bikes. I don't like those people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm waging war.
All right.
They don't listen. They're old.
Yeah.
This isn't their thing.
It is.
I'm already vulgar to them. They don't care about me, but I don't care about them, and they drive like a-holes.
I wonder if it's an older person thing because the bike seat bad for an old butt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're, you can't be too old because it's probably hard to get in and out of that thing,
I
right?
see guys older than this guy riding bikes. It could be an injury. Sure, I could see that. But I have a back injury and I ride my bike.
It is stupid.
It's stupid.
There's no way around it.
I just don't
see it.
like,
I'm like,
well, look at it, Sam. Look up recumbent bike and why was it invented? It's not the better way to bike. If that were the case, then we'd all do it, right?
Yeah.
If that were the case, then
it doesn't look comfortable to me. Like I feel like
you're in a hammock, right? You're in a butt hammock, and then you've got gears, and then you got hand levers.
You're reclined or laying down or sitting down.
I feel like I'm susceptible to attacks that way when I'm cycling down the
I feel
sidewalk.
like couldn't you just slide right under a car?
Right?
Laying down on that thing?
Well, yeah, you're lower to the ground, so
you just ride right over you, chop your head off.
Harder to see. But yeah.
Well, that's why they have the stupid flags.
Yeah.
I want to break those too. I know this is highly negative, and if you ride one of those, I apologize, but it's just you're not. Be nicer. Jeez Louise. How about this one right here, Tom? This is another one of your favorite things: alligators.
BDM James here. I was just listening to the Mediocre Time where you guys were talking about the lady getting killed by the alligator in South Carolina. I grew up in Florida most of my life, but moved to South Carolina back in the mid-2000s. And me and my daughter were riding our bikes one day, and kind of looked like some development that didn't get finished or something, so they had retention ponds. So we were riding on the sidewalks that were there. And as we rode by one of the retention ponds, I saw some of the biggest alligators that I have ever seen in my life in the wild. And I was like, okay, so they're here. And then I started to pay more attention, and we lived there for a year or two, and I was able to say that I saw more alligators living in South Carolina than I ever have, even in Florida. Thanks.
Weird.
We had said, like the highest concentrations of alligators that we have seen have obviously been in Florida. We're Floridian, so yes, we were beating that drum, and he was basically calling in to say that he disagreed, which is that's good to know that. Yeah, I knew that there were alligators through the Carolinas, even in parts of Virginia where my family's from.
Do they have gator land?
But not like this.
Yeah. I still would think that Florida has more alligators.
I would think so too.
Especially it gets so cold up there that
we're a literal swamp.
That I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's because there's, especially in Orlando, where the city of lakes, there's so many different bodies of water that I wonder if they're more spread out just because there's so many places for them to live, which means there's higher numbers of them, but they're less prevalent in one body of water. And then North Carolina, less bodies of water, so they're more concentrated, and you see bigger ones. But I have not ever heard from anybody. I have, people that I know that live in North Carolina that have ever said, I've seen more gators up here than down in Florida.
Now, this might be a really stupid question, but this is the show to ask it on, right?
Yeah.
Is there at least one alligator in every state?
No.
No.
They don't go much higher than North Carolina.
Or are you saying someone illegally brought one there?
I'm just saying in general.
Not in the wild, no.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
about how far?
Southeast,
So if we're in
they're
Florida,
Texas.
about how far to the west do they go? Texas.
Texas, I think, is the farthest west. I don't think they go any further.
And then if we're going north,
I would say. I mean, I'm
New
sure.
York?
No.
Gators in New York.
I think they found some
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
in the sewer
Those
systems
are
and
turtles.
stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember when there was that?
Wow, man!
I don't know. I was reading the chat and then I jumped back in and I'm like, wait, there's reptiles in the sewers.
I like how
Ninja Turtles.
I stumped Sam on a real easy one.
Although
my brain's shutting down.
You're hanging out with us too much.
So
don't listen to us.
They can apparently survive freeze overs, but not prolonged.
Is that when they just stick their nose out, right? We've seen that.
I've seen that in like videos and stuff where like a body of a retention pond will freeze like up north and then they'll go in a state of weird hibernation until it goes out. But
I think
I don't think you can survive like.
What's weird about my attitude towards like alligators and sharks is that like I've never had the attitude of kill them. I've always had the attitude of like, aren't these pretty amazing?
Yeah.
Like an alligator is the closest you're going to get to a dinosaur right now, and it's dope looking. Probably not genetically the closest, but it's really cool lizard. And it's huge. And same thing with sharks. Like sharks are pretty amazing when you start to like analyze them and look into them. So I don't know. I think alligators are just as cool though. They're really cool.
Yeah, but it's
like Savannah has a really cool job. She gets to just feed alligators like buckets of brains and meat and stuff. That's neat.
Going back to the recumbent bike, it says it is good for people with neurological conditions. Since the bike provides a workout for individuals of all ability levels, it is safe and provides a low impact total body workout.
I want everybody to work out, and I think, look, if you're having fun, you're having fun. But I don't like them.
You want to push them over.
Sharks and gators get bad names because you see the stories. Everyone like the lady in North Carolina that every once in a while someone will get eaten.
Well, don't walk towards the gator in the water.
Yeah,
that's dumb. That's on you.
And then so people get afraid of these animals because you're like, I've heard about that one lady that got eaten, and you're like, that's just one lady. There's hundreds of millions of ladies out there, and they don't get, like you hear one story and then you're afraid. That's how news
I think
works.
a lot of it too, just perception, the way it looks, just based purely on the way it looks. You look at an alligator, you look at a shark, they're not cuddly.
Yeah, they look kind of scary.
Yeah, they look scary.
Also, the way that they attack you, terrifying. Because they'll
both of them. Like sharks are going to thrash, and then alligators are going to roll.
Yeah, they'll roll your arms off.
Which would you rather be rolled or thrashed?
Oh God.
Shark or gator? I'd pick shark.
I think I would too.
I think I'd pick. I mean, I'm not. But let me put some parameters. I'm not talking great white.
What are you talking?
I'm talking like something that's just going to get a limb.
A nibble.
Yeah, bull shark.
Like a bull shark. And then gator, I'm thinking.
I mean, bull sharks have killed more people than great whites for sure.
Like how about like a 5-4 foot gator?
That way, it'll hurt you.
It hurts you.
I mean, it'll bite
get
you.
you.
Get you. I don't think a 5-foot gator could roll your arm off because you're stronger.
Oh, I got little yarn arms. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like strong breeze could blow my arms off.
I think
my arms are held on like my teacher. My arms are so noodly now. They're held on by those little brass chads that you get from your teacher when you're making a paper doll.
Because if you think about if a 5-foot gator, their mouth, their whole head is from I think in mid eyes to the tip of their snoot is it's only 5 inches.
I'm glad you used it correctly. Thank you.
Because for every every inch you
Yeah.
see their snoot to eyes, that's how big they are in feet. So 5-foot gator, 5-inch snoot to eyes.
Are you making a
I don't know if it's the correct scale.
5-foot gator and a
it is.
5-foot snoot. Everybody get
For every inch, I don't know if it's their entire
fast
head.
scooting buggy.
but it may be just from their eyes. It's like what you see pop up in
my eyes, my snoot, my fanny, and my toot.
You know what I'm saying. We gotta get out of here.
Oh yeah, we do.
All right.
You
sounded wasted.
Call me an Uber. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. We certainly do appreciate all of you listening. Going to the website, checking in on our merch. If you didn't get one of those big Father's Day packs, I'm going to say most of them are already spoken for, and you're certainly not going to get it in time for Father's Day, but hey.
But you can still get it.
Yeah.
Today's the last day for the leggings pre-order, leggings and compression shorts.
Those leggings.
If you want to get on your recumbent bike and wear some compression shorts,
Do
get
it.
on there now.
Those leggings are dope.
Yeah.
And you've got a bunch of different colorways and styles to choose from. But like Sam said, time is a ticking. So jump on there and get them while you can. We will see you on Monday.